No, I said I don't want to take minutes.
We have a quorum? Yeah. Right, we have a quorum, right? We have a quorum, right?
Yeah, we do have a farm.
I'm sorry, I don't know how good they're gonna be because I'm
I'm recording.
tired.
You're tired, I got to write up words.
You ready? Yeah. There's more agendas than anyone wants.
Your doctor, it's December 19th.
Anybody need an agenda?
Okay, I can't wait to hear.
Good evening, everyone. It's,
Ed Perez said audio was
7:04.
good.
Is that?
Ed
So
Perez
12.
confirmed audio is good.
This is the leadership committee meeting.
Yeah, we don't.
Yep, put the minutes up, Jim.
No, nobody did them, right?
No, I don't think anyone actually,
Pass on the minutes.
but we'll get those to you.
Did you say the date and everything, what time we started out? I don't know if you
I
did.
did.
Okay. All right. So,
We have the full board agenda up there.
yep, I'll pull it up right now.
So Jeremy, if no one submitted the minutes from last month, I'll do them. I'll review the
Wait,
videos. Just,
Who did I do them last month?
I don't know if anybody actually,
You know what, let me look,
offered to
let
do
me
it.
look first.
Let me know, and if
Because
not,
I
then I'll
may
review
have-
the video and I'll put together. minutes.
Yeah, I may have done them. Shoot me.
Okay, did everybody see that?
Mhm.
Can we make it larger?
Better than that.
You good?
That's good.
Yes.
So Tuesday, a week from today, the 19th, Einstein College of Medicine. First thing is, well, I don't know.
It's next Tuesday.
Yes. The recording company cannot come on the 19th. So we originally told them the 21st, they could do that. They can't do the 19th. So,
See if somebody else could do any kind of recording, just, you know.
well, I'll see. I already reached out to Einstein about going there early to see about, because when we had the public hearing, I was able to figure out the screen and stuff. But I don't know if they have a camera on it or anything like
I
that.
have a
Yeah,
tripod.
but we couldn't figure out the mics.
Yes, no, I know. That's the other reason, because I emailed them today. I want to know if I can figure out the monitor and the mics.
Do we remember why we moved it from the?
Oh, I did find our microphones at my house.
Too close to Crystal.
So I didn't completely space out.
That's
Not
That's
good.
like a big,
All right, so now you're getting spaced in.
But you have everything except the
Now
video.
you're spaced in.
Jeremy?
Down.
You have all the equipment except the video.
Yeah, well, so when we didn't have the recording company, it was my laptop and it was god awful, right? So I'm gonna see what I can do with Einstein. I mean, I didn't check. I could always see if the 21st still works. Because that did work for the recording company. I don't know if anybody's interested in that.
Yeah, I can.
It's my birthday.
So see, the 19th, I know.
It's my Christmas party at work,
The 19th or
21st.
okay.
I think that's what it was. There was a lot of people that couldn't make it that day, that they conflicted. with a
Yeah,
lot of things.
well, there's also, there's also something personally I need to do kind of on the 19th. And I know I've been at every single full board meeting except for 2 since I've been district manager. But, I think maybe you guys should learn how to live without me for once, if that's possible. And I'll do everything I know, tell me, I know. But this is a really important night for me.
Further, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that if there's.
Well, hold on.
If there's.
We will come to the gallery. Right. Sorry. No. So I have a personal conflict.
So how many people can't make it on the 21st?
21st.
I see 4 people.
What day did, what
Thursday.
day do we- Thursday?
You don't have to switch it for me, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking, I didn't even know if the recording company.
Also, yeah.
Well, I can pull out just an audio recording too. And again, I'm waiting for Einstein. I've been bothering Einstein, as some of you know, for their security camera footage.
With the 26th.
So,
Okay, with
in
me.
addition to that, I'm trying to go over there and see if I can at least learn how to hook up, right? I mean, say we don't have a recording company, at least we should be able to hook up to that.
Can you
line.
find out, is there anybody who can't make it the 21st?
Well, we just,
Earl saying
Well,
that the
can't-
21st is not good for him either.
so it's 5 people.
Perez said that the 19th is
19th
not
is no
good for
good for
him.
him.
Yeah, the 19th may not be good for me.
Isn't that what we have now, the 19th?
Yeah, and that's a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
All
Yeah,
right,
I can
but
probably
what
get
hap-
on virtual.
What happens the
21st.
19th? What's the worst case scenario?
We have no remote meeting. Well, we have it on a laptop, but
But on the laptop,
it's,
they
well,
can't really hear very well.
we should be able to get it on the monitor, the big monitor.
Okay.
I was able to figure out how to turn on the monitor and get access to the internet. It's always stagnant.
What about making? it
Um,
after
I want to see if we can do more than
Let's
that.
just not have.
All right. Can you record it on your computer?
December.
Yeah, yes, I can record, well, I don't know, I don't know if that has a camera.
I said I was gonna do
I don't know if that has a camera.
Can
I'm
we
just
have a meeting
wondering.
without virtual, without having? it
Yeah, of course we
virtual?
can. I mean, we did that for the public hearing.
So
I know a lot of people are not gonna like that, but
Worst case scenario, it'll be
can't.
just like this.
We can't have a non-virtual meeting. Everyone has to have access.
no, that's if you have board members that are attending virtually. You have to have,
But public access.
yeah,
Well, they would.
you don't have to
they would
allow.
come in. Would have to
I mean,
come.
if Debbie were here, she would tell you how great board 10 is and that they don't do it at all.
Yeah, they never have the
Yeah,
virtual
I mean,
aspect.
we've,
It's-
I
We're one of
think
the
we're one
few
of the
boards.
few.
that-
We need, sound is not a problem. It's the video, right?
Sound what?
Sound will be a problem for those online to hear, most
that's
likely.
right.
Then again,
Yeah.
if that, when we log in to WebEx on their system, if they can hear us through those microphones, then we're good. But again, until Einstein gets back to me, I mean, I did reach out to them today. They did say they're gonna get back to me on the security camera issue, but
All right,
But
does
this,
it
they-
have to be recorded?
we
Does it?
should audio record it. If it's
Yeah,
gonna be online, yeah, we have to record it, but if we don't do it
All
online.
right, so the audio we have, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, we still have an audio device.
All right, how about the visual? Is there a problem with the
So
visual recording? Is there any way of doing that with the computer?
I'm gonna try.
All right.
I'm gonna try. I'm
Also,
gonna try, regardless of what we do.
could we have it on another day? We're not having it all for December? And make it
I
easy?
mean, we've had it in months when we don't have it in December. I mean.
Yeah, no, I know.
You know,
Vote on
not
that?
every year.
Yeah, it's-
This way,
It's the holidays. But that's,
I
well,
mean, it's a thought. Cause
if we,
it's so, it's.
What do you think,
we'll see, you know, see what
guys? What do you
see
think?
what Einstein, what happens with Einstein.
Well, I have cannabis and liquor licenses that we have to vote on at the full board.
Well, you don't have to vote on them, right? Because there are no objections. But
One was a table,
Ideally, well, yeah, the table I'm not putting on the agenda because you're not gonna vote on it, right?
right? But,
But yeah, ideally you
that's
do
it.
vote on.
yeah.
I'm trying to get a consensus here. We're trying to get that.
So I think that if we can try, right, like, we should maybe give a deadline to when we're gonna.
But so we're gonna stay with the 19th, right? Because
Most
right,
of us
most
can
of
do
the-
the 21st.
And I'm not sure of the 19th. But
It doesn't matter for me. I'm available both dates.
I think we probably should have checked at the full board meeting also, because there's a lot of people that aren't here that may not be able to make it, so we don't even know. But-
yeah, well, I could just send out an email now, later. Hey, are you gonna even be here the 19th? Are you gonna be physically here? You know,
Yeah, I think we should find out ahead of time.
because that was the
Put out
concern.
both dates,
Yeah.
put out both dates.
Because that was the concern we had with the last meeting, because,
Yeah.
you know, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, you know, it was looking tough. So,
I think we should send out a
We should-
consensus too, to see who's gonna be here and if they're gonna be able to attend, how they're gonna attend.
but everybody here is gonna be here on the
On the
19th.
19th.
It's minus Ed, maybe. But everybody here on the 19th.
well, I'm
Yes,
not
it's a board
here,
member.
but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe on the road, but
Okay.
coming back, but we'll see.
Okay, so I'll send an email out. Is that okay, Al?
Yeah. Is there anybody opposed to canceling it for December, if we can't get the 19th? Because there's a number of people that can't make it to 21st, and then we're getting into Christmas.
It's,
So-
yeah, Christmas.
We should shoot for the 19th. Is there any, if we can't make the 19th?
If it doesn't look like we're gonna have a quorum on either day, then there's really no point in having the meeting because we can't do any motions or anything.
Well, the 19th, we should have a quorum. I'm not sure about the 21st.
Yeah, well, 21st we already have.
21st is getting
four
kind of
people,
close to
right?
Christmas. So that's my proposal. What do you think? The 19th is a go if we can get everything done. If not, we cancel it till January.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So,
You'll let us
Yeah.
know, Jeremy.
yeah, gallery, we have one person signed up. These other people are placeholders or common.
But do they know that the date's been changed if you said one person signed up for the gallery?
We'll let them know.
I will
You
check.
have to let them know, because then they may not be available either.
Well, hold on. I mean, the first person who registered here, I can check to see if,
Well,
registered the right way.
if it's already tentatively, if it's already on the 19th on the calendar and the person signed up, so,
Yeah,
yeah, so they're available. They're available on the 19th.
we did have one person sign up for tonight, apparently. Yeah, and the one person did sign up. All right, whatever. So it's 19th. I don't know about these other people. Chairs report. You want to? I'll leave on the Jacoby thing, even though it's tomorrow. Or
Just put City of Yes.
so get rid of this.
Yeah, that's that, it'll make mention of that it was,
That are.
on Wednesdays.
All right. So just city of yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so just remind people, if you have an empty bottle, please
Yes,
put it in the sink if you don't know where it goes, because we had somebody throw it in the garbage last night. Not this one, but because I'm not gonna say who did it last night. But, if you don't know, ask.
I wasn't
FYI,
here.
there's
oh, I know.
there's
I
a
wasn't
recy-
here.
a recycle can in the front of it.
So
Wow.
few recycling.
Yeah.
Paper, we recycle paper here too. Bylaws, so I put this on here. So doing these agendas, so if you look at the agenda for tonight, it says those registered will be called upon first because the gallery session in the bylaws is defined for the full board only.
Okay.
So it's
What do
so it's that's something that we should think about and look at. Sandy, it's your committee, right? It's not defined for committees. So in that case, it's usually up to the chair to determine how much the gallery session speaker speaks. So I'm guessing, Al will say 2 minutes tonight, but obviously it's up to him and the committee here.
Yeah, we've been using the standard 2 minutes.
But it's not in the bylaws.
Right.
So, and then we lost our Parks Department employee, Felix Rodriguez.
Already? He's
No.
pretty new.
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh,
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So Matt Doran is our current liaison until they figure out who's going to be assigned to us. Yes.
Just wait.
Felix.
Our parks liaison.
Was it
He
silent?
was young.
Yeah, I don't want to say publicly, but yeah, he,
Oh, my God.
condolences.
yeah, we after the meeting's over, I can answer your questions. But I don't think I'm gonna say anything on camera. So that's just it for me for right now. Leadership, we'll come back to this committee, right? Depending on what happens, if anything. Motions, so they're all no objection. Chris told me. Misto down to Leidig Supermarket. The one was tabled. Oh no, which one was tabled?
Jeremy is saying that it's coming through mumbly on the chat.
I think Purple Cake.
Purple Cake was the one that was tabled.
Little-
Hard to hear mumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I speak, unfortunately. So
So.
I will do my best to enunciate.
Purple Cake didn't come up, so,
That's the one that's being tabled.
yeah,
So there you go. All right.
yeah.
And I just put it like this, so you can actually go through, I just did it for succinct purposes, but for the meeting, you can actually go through each one. Find out if there are no objections to the first two, then,
Can I ask a question? The Leidig supermarket, is it a regular supermarket that's gonna?
The business name is Leidig Supermarket. They haven't made a name for the actual location yet. So that's my understanding. That's what their business is under, Leidig Supermarket Incorporated.
So Sandy, you can call it, the.
I know, I just was thinking. to
Or
me, a
something,
supermarket, Yeah.
But, doing business as
Yeah.
afterwards.
so Hush grand opening is tomorrow, if you didn't hear. That was the first applicant that came to us, cannabis. Also,
They have a different name, don't they? Or is it-
yeah, they started a different name, but now it's called Hush, I think. I don't know if you want to mention, I think, did you vote on it last night about the 30-day extension?
We didn't vote on it, we just made a decision that we were gonna do it. I didn't think it was anything that needed to be voted on, so just so everybody knows, we've decided that, you know, Jeremy heard at the BP's OCM presentation, that most community boards automatically.
Not most,
request-
but
Well,
some
some
of them.
community boards automatically request a 30-day extension
Several.
when they get in the cannabis applications. So as a committee, we decided that that's good practice and that's what we're gonna be doing going forward, so we don't miss anything. So as soon as we get a cannabis license,
We go
I
through-
sent the language today, me and Chris worked on it. As soon as we get it, we're automatically gonna send out the request, whether or not we're gonna need it.
Right,
We're just gonna send it out so we don't miss any deadlines, so that way we have the time.
Yeah,
yeah.
you're covering.
Right.
Yeah, that was OCM. OCM is the one who told us that they do, other community boards do that. And then we're gonna work on the questionnaire. Right? For cannabis licenses. All right. So Sandy, you have two bylaw motions, right, that were voted on last month, but I put on the agenda. I don't know if you could see those. So we'll find everybody.
Yeah, because Kenny wants to make sure that there's no
The
problem.
wording,
And
Yeah, well, normally I would just delete that section, but because the motion, what was it, October, was very specific.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go. But otherwise, it's not a problem just to delete that.
right, that one's easy, but we just have to add, and the other one is a little bit more specific. So that wouldn't cause problems.
Yeah, so, I mean, December, you're playing for January. I don't know if you want me to change that, Serena. Education culture, you're still planning your event. Oh, Youth Leadership Award, I did speak to Dawn. She has two applicants, or two
Okay,
kids. She's
good.
going to,
Because right now, we still only have the one.
that's what I told her. So she's got a really good chance of getting it
Yeah.
this year. Ethics and disciplinary, oh, they have a case coming up. I'll put that in there. Meeting is Monday, right?
Yeah.
Health and social services. Nothing, housing, public hearing, we had a public hearing, I don't know if you want to talk about that, Hazel. Yeah, I don't know, oh, leaf bag, Roger's giving away leaf bags here at the office at 6 o'clock tomorrow, I did relay your interest.
Thank you.
Dawn from the library also expressed interest.
The public hearing was housing and.
I was just gonna
land
say it was joint.
Yeah, I mean, I can combine the two, I
Yeah.
don't know, I just kept, because officially they're separate. There is something else that came through, some citywide text amendment or something like that, I think. I forwarded it on to everybody last night at the request of the, board member. Well, they want it, but I'm just trying to send everything on. 'Cause you don't know who's interested, so transportation, diversity, equity, inclusion, city, yes. Chris did not update the website regarding the City of Yes Committee because he would like to know who's been the chair, co-chair of that.
It's a non-standing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
But before he
Still have
updates
it,
it,
yeah.
he'd still he'd like to do it on one full swoop, whatever.
How about social media?
I don't know.
It's also non-standing. but it's not
Yes.
there.
Yes, if they want to be there, whatever, Joanne's that committee. I'll put it there. Anything else for board agenda?
Was public safety there? I didn't see that.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you gonna read the letter, the public safety to the?
No, we're gonna read it at our meeting.
Is there anybody else online that's part of the committee?
No.
Roger's
Roger.
there. Because I don't think April's in. April's gonna try to join remotely, but.
Oh, I'm glad Rich is in. Okay.
Okay, the agenda good, any problem with the agenda? Additions, deletions?
No, it's good.
Are we gonna look at the calendar
All
for
right, Carol,
January?
we'll go to the calendar.
Let's close out.
I can't log in.
Yeah, Kate, someone can't log in, Paper Donuts, it states, yes, it says the host been updated, it's strange.
Everybody else had
You
it.
can't log in.
Let me just. Oh, and then Coral is.
Ed's trying to resolve it for her.
Just making the other members focus who are part of the committee. Okay, calendar.
Wasn't there an email with regards to the city of Yes that went out just recently? You responded to it. There was an email with regards to the committee with, I just read it today.
Oh, I
Yeah,
just
you-
said, yeah, let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So,
That's all I said.
can you see this?
That's all I said.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
All right, so just reminder, office is closed on the 25th.
Holidays coming up.
It's gonna be closed first day of January. And then the 15th.
If you put it up, Jeremy, so they can see it.
Yeah.
The chair people, is there any problems with the second through the 11th?
We still in 6:30, Hazel, for your committee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Day after
just
New
put it
Year's.
here, okay.
Or
Oh, can I scroll down?
Yep, well,
Yeah, transportation, can we, reach out to DOT again, please? Bronx Jail?
Okay.
And public safety will join with transportation if DOT comes,
Right,
And if they don't, they'll each be separate.
then we'll do separate, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Rich, is the 16th good for you? For public safety?
If you don't come by.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. So if we don't combine, we'll keep the 16th.
Do you want me to keep the executive board on there, Brenda, or do you want me to take it off?
I'll keep the executive board for now, yeah.
I don't see the, okay.
Ethics, okay, yeah, so that's the standard, community development, Serena,
We're good with that. Just wanna, Roger, Ryan, just wanna make sure Dwayne, and Malcolm, I see it, I believe, they're on, Malcolm's not on, but, it looks like it's good on the 24th. If I have, an issue, I'll let you know. Also, Jeremy, I've been reaching out to the, OMB
yeah,
to have them come and present on that day as it pertains to the potential budget cuts. I've been doing it myself. I've reached out several times. Perhaps you might,
Guys,
you can help.
Sorry, microphones can pick up.
yeah, I'll inquire. We, community board staff is having a meeting with LMB tomorrow. I did ask about board members, it's something being put on by the VP's office, but right now it's just staff.
Okay.
So I know Harriet, we have a goal for that meeting, but we can talk about that offline.
Okay.
But yeah, I would push, for that, and maybe we can push for it tomorrow too.
Thank you.
What's OMB?
The Office of
Budget management.
Tiz, how many people do you have for the youth award so far?
One handed in, but Jeremy said there were two more
Right.
coming from the
If
library.
anybody As a student or, somebody between the ages of, what is it, 14 and 21?
20, I think, or 21. It was
That-
20, I think it
that
is,
they-
yeah,
community-
14, 20,
Give
yeah.
give us their names. It's $750
Yeah.
for some kid that, could probably use the money.
Yeah,
So
Manny.
if you know anybody that's done something for the community,
Yeah, I'll reach out to Manny again.
put his name in, put all,
Mhm.
his or her name in.
And I also sent it to the YCOs. They should be nominating their explorers.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
should.
Girl Scout, Boy Scout, I mean, you're talking about, any group that's doing, $750 if they're.
I just know that, the problem we've had with the Explorers in the past, they put up good kids who do their volunteer time here, but they don't live in our area. So.
They don't have to live in the community. They have to do their community service.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we might have to update our memorandum in that case, because I don't know if that,
I think that's what it states.
It states that we've discussed that.
Yeah.
I think they have to live here or go to school here.
No,
No.
they have to do their volunteer work in
Yes.
Community Board 11.
Yes.
They,
But-
yes, they could either live in Community Board 11
Yeah,
or go to school here or have their work here. But they also, their volunteer time has to be within Community Board 11. It can't be in their high school that's in,
oh, yeah, yeah. Or
Solution.
we did change it. You're right.
or, yeah, you know,
All right,
or.
good.
There's,
Yeah,
Change it. You're right.
remind me to mention it tomorrow night at
Yeah.
the meeting.
You know
Is
that
it-
there are
That's
also
good.
girls in Boy Scout troops. They have their own within the.
Because unfortunately, we, in the past, when Linda or whoever was really restricted,
Linda and Diane.
so we had good kids and then once, they never applied again.
Did you reach out to Pastor Gooden?
Unfortunately.
Doesn't he have a-
no, they're,
Church?
they're working on their own scholarship thing,
Okay.
but I can reach out to Reverend Ronzer again and see.
Can I also make a suggestion? I'll bring it since, our meetings are in person. Okay, the way we used to have the choices is that everybody got a copy of whatever applications were submitted. And if I had a submission, there's no executive board session or anything. You stay here, you listen. If there's a question, they could ask you a question, you can answer, but when they're making the decision on the person you submitted, you
don't
stay
know.
here. It's just that you can't have the public or any guest or whatever, have to leave because it's just a discussion with the committee members. Okay, that's the way that it always should have been. All right, when we did things virtual, all of a sudden everybody went, you still can hear because you could maybe help the person that submitted, okay, if there are a couple of points, well, this person doesn't have their volunteer work in Community Board
But we have
11,
a
this
committee-
person is dealing with
Committee is set up
dance.
to do that. Committee is set up to
It
fix
was,
it.
yeah, that's the way,
The education committee
Okay.
does that.
so I'm just stating that, for
But
future.
last year, those of us that nominated, like I nominated someone from the Morris Park Association last year.
And I
And
nominated,
I wasn't allowed to participate in the discussion. We should be allowed to participate in the discussion, not the vote.
Yeah, we've unfortunately got contradictory opinions from the Conflicts of Interest Board. But
that's why you always did it 15 years. I
but
was
but when
there.
we talked about, when we had this issues with the Ethics Committee recently, and they said, you can discuss, but if you have a conflict, you have to disclose. So that's the thing, right? So why wouldn't that apply
Yeah,
to the
but it's
Yankee?
not it wouldn't be a problem unless you, in other words, you put the person forward.
Mhm.
If you put the person's name
Yes.
forward.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah, I
talking.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me for a minute, please. Are there folks trying to log in? I just got a call. Roxanne is one of them. They're having trouble logging in.
Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you.
We're not
Jimmy.
together yet anyway, so.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, so if you don't mind, so we do have the chair of the non-standing DEI committee here, so I don't know if I could ask her, Christine, if you are gonna have a meeting in January?
I think we're gonna pass on January. We don't have,
Okay,
we have a lot of.
I did get an update about some training. I don't know if you saw that, I think I sent to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean with the freeze?
The fees and then the hope that it'll be free in 6 to 8 months anyway. But don't hold
It
your
will
breath.
most likely be free.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're doing volunteer work and we didn't come up with the money.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, anyway, so, can I close the calendar then?
No problem with the calendar?
No.
Okay, we're good with the calendar. Now you go to gallery session.
All right, so I see anybody here in person? Bob? Al, do we want to do 2 minutes? What do you want to do?
Yeah, good.
So who wants to come? You want me to do it or somebody want to?
You want me?
There you go.
You're gonna do it?
Did you check if people can get in for the gallery? This is starting the gallery.
Gallery session.
I don't know, I mean, all these other people got it. I don't know how they got.
She just.
You ready, Chris?
Someone said that they
Can't you call?
typed in the code.
Yeah, anybody can. I mean, Christine, did you have it? Because Christine joined. Did you have a problem getting in, Christine?
I had no problem with it.
So, I mean, yeah, I
Don't
mean,
try
I
again.
didn't help these other people.
You ready,
that are in.
Chris? It's the time.
You tell me when.
You ready?
You ready?
Go ahead, Bob.
Go.
Monday, 1:36 PM, I sent an email to the district manager. Dear District Manager Jeremy Warnicki, I'm requesting that you send me a copy of the minutes of the executive session of Community Board 11 that took place November 30th, 2023. Thank you, Robert Preston, Community Board 11 resident. According to the Open Meetings Law, Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 106, minutes, item number 3, minutes of all public bodies shall be available to the public in accordance with the provisions of the Freedom of Information Law within 2 weeks from the date of such meeting, except that minutes taken pursuant to subdivision 2 of this section shall be available to public within 1 week from the date of the executive session. As of checking the latest website, or I should say, it's as of 6 PM today on the Community Board 11 website. Who has a,
That's
Sorry,
me,
just
sorry,
touched
leaving.
okay, today, December 12th, there was no minutes of the executive session. Is there a reason why there were no minutes put up within a week?
Yeah, I didn't put them up yet. I mean, they are done. Yeah. So you will get them, yes.
Thank
We'll
you.
put them up.
All right, I had just logged in. I had no problem connecting either. I got into the meeting.
Tell them to try again.
Anybody else? Edwin, you ready, Chris?
Good evening. In regards to the November 30th general board meeting, after it came out of executive session, I was taken aback by the behavior of board member Malcolm Gray. I heard that there was some jostling from another board member. I wasn't at that executive board meeting, neither was the public, but it is troubling because I know that if I did that at work, and I'm part of boards at work, it would be like considered violence in the workplace. And I think people have to tone it down. This is not your personal venue, but it was not something, and I've seen that out in the street. I just didn't expect that would be in a community board. I don't think that it's asking for too much that we don't see that, because then the image of the community, it casts a bad light on this community. But nonetheless, some people may not be able to control their emotions. I'm not surprised. We all have heated moments, but we shouldn't be disrespectful to anyone. I should know because I've been victim of attacks all my life, but to do that in a place of work, it is troubling. It
30
says a lot
seconds.
about the people that are on the board when they push the code of conduct. We can't do that. So I will discuss that going forward so that can be reviewed, because I just don't think that it's acceptable. And it was very disheartening, but nonetheless, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa to everybody. Happy Hanukkah and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, respond?
Sure, the committee.
It wasn't a question, but it's more of a statement. So my statement is, you mentioned that you weren't there. You also mentioned, that this is hearsay, right? Something that you didn't see, but you're speaking of, but you didn't say what you saw exactly. And in fairness to Mr. Malcolm Gray, I was there. I don't know if you and I are thinking about the same thing that is being said to have happened, that I know that I didn't see, but Jeremy did mention something earlier about trying to get video from Einstein. So it is something that and I don't know if we're talking about the same things, because again, you didn't mention what it was. But I just want to say, it just came off like more accusatory than just giving an opportunity to find out exactly what was said to have transpired.
And may I respond?
Yes.
It wasn't just one thing. And there were a lot of things that were going. I was at the meeting, and then we had to leave. The public had to leave. I saw a photo. It was troubling. I know it wasn't doctored. I do want to look at the security footage, But I don't think that, and then there was some words said, hastily by another board member, but all through the night I saw that. And this can go on, but I will deal with it next month. I'm gonna speak with City Council Investigations Committee because I think we should have access to that footage so that we could review the entire meeting.
Absolutely,
And then we'll take it from there.
absolutely.
I have a question. I'm sorry, Mr. Gonzalez, are you a member of Community Board of Law?
Hold on one second, Christie.
Chris, I-
Just
Sorry.
because you're technically part of the gallery, so.
Yeah.
if you have
Okay,
to see
gotcha,
if
gotcha.
I'll allow gallery.
Or, can I ask-
No,
No,
later.
no, she did what question wasn't asked.
So yeah, so just so everybody's clear, I think most people who know what's being talked about. So there's an allegation of something done at our full board meeting. So I'm trying to get the video. So the nice thing about this whole affair, so to speak, is that it does make me wonder or realize, do they actually have cameras? Do they have, I mean, they do have cameras because I went for the public hearing and I saw them. So what kind of like say something bad, worse than what's alleged actually does take place at our meeting? It's good to know what type of security backup is there.
And you're talking about Einstein's.
Yes, Lubin Hall, at Lubin Hall.
You
Yep.
have, people in line.
Well, we want to finish with,
Anybody else?
I just have a question. I know that there was a lot of back and forth with sanitation / transportation. Are they merging? Are they not merging? Were there gonna be meetings? Because I see there's no like joint meeting for discussion between the two committees. Anyone can,
so I can answer that, or, I mean, or Roger could, because Roger's having a meeting tomorrow night. I could speak, but Roger, I don't want to overstep my role here. Do you want to talk, do you want to address that question, Roger? Because I know you want a meeting to
Yeah,
discuss the issue.
we are having a meeting and it is on the agenda. If we have a quorum, we can vote on it. It was something that the bylaws committee requested. Although in the bylaws, it's just a full board meeting vote, whether the full board wants to do it or not. And it's something that
No,
members had brought up before. So since I was part of sanitation, I was just doing the follow through on it. But if that's not what people want, then I wouldn't
So-
be offended by it.
So just to qualify that, or add to it, so to speak. So remember the bylaws, the full board voted in October that to require each committee discuss it either jointly or separately. So he's doing it separately, or that committee's doing it.
that's
Jeremy, if I may,
That's not how I remember it. I
Yeah, the
thought-
committee,
I thought transportation and sanitation were supposed to get together and discuss it.
yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy, and I can pull up the minutes or the
we
agenda.
thought in the bylaws that each committee was gonna discuss among themselves, do they want to join with the other committee? They don't have to,
an option.
it's an option,
Okay.
or,
That's an
but
option.
there was nothing to say that they cannot meet together.
I
When,
guess, yeah, I guess they can
when-
discuss
when
it
something
separately
like-
and then,
like, what is it, isn't your committee gonna meet with another committee?
If
possibly?
DOT comes,
If it-
yes.
I think what was discussed, it was up to the committees to decide
Right,
whether they wanted to join together for one meeting or two meetings or.
or just
That would be
when
left, it would be
necessary,
left up to the chairs of those committees.
yeah.
Yes, here, right here, this is the motion. And of course, I made sure it was fine with how it was worded before. You know, meet individually or jointly. And that's what was
As
voted.
needed, right?
Well,
No, they
But-
wanted to make it
to
as a
discuss,
one, as a
One
set
committee.
thing,
yes.
that it would meet, that it would be combined.
But the motion that passed at the full board, this is the agenda. And this is the same thing that passed. I can go to the actual minutes. But it was for each committee to meet jointly or individually. It's up to them to
Right.
discuss the issue. So,
And I think the transportation, from what I've heard, they don't want to do a joint.
No, we don't.
Well, that's something you people can
Right.
discuss and just let us know what you plan on doing.
it doesn't hurt to have separate meetings, so each
Right,
committee
and
can
if
speak and then
necessary.
have a joint meeting and.
Yeah.
Well, we would have had a separate meeting, but I thought for some reason that we were supposed to meet jointly first to discuss it, so that's okay.
You know, Roger was trying to do that.
Yeah, we'll bring it up at our own meeting.
He was trying to do that, but there was conflicts with, you know, DOT wasn't at your meeting,
Right.
and then
Yeah,
members
the
of his.
meeting got canceled last minute.
Yeah, I remember that, yes.
Yep. So does that answer your question, Cynthia?
No. Because my understanding and my recollection was that there was a full board vote and the full board voted that the two committees should combine.
No.
However, yes. Yes, it is in the meeting minutes that,
Where's the minutes?
I'll pull them up.
you can watch the video whatever you want. I mean, it's.
No, but remember, this is the agenda I just showed you.
Opposed to that, and then we decided. that
Correct,
we were
so,
going
so
to
the
meet.
chairs were opposed
The
to
chair-
the full board. Oh, that's my only issue, that my only bone of contention is that I'm a little troubled by that, because if including the members of those committees voted at the full board to combine the two committees, I just don't understand why
No,
this is still a discussion. So.
I think the vote was just to put it on the agenda.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
the same motion as the agenda. To meet jointly or individually to discuss combining the two committees,
And which meeting was that?
October,
All right, thank you.
May source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gene? You ready, Chris?
Chris?
Gene.
So yesterday I attended the economic.
Come on, stop texting.
I got free time. That's free time, no?
okay, go.
And
What you just said, just go.
we've been discussing with the district manager and the mayor's office about what's called a plaza permit. The issue is we haven't received information on how to obtain this plaza permit, the actual cost, the actual, if we need signatures, how many signatures. But we know from what the city provides, the schematics, and what the schematics are is we would need to provide pottery, florage. So we would plant potted trees. This would be on for those that didn't listen yesterday's meeting. The city created a bump out on the southeast and northwest corners for the bus station. So the sidewalk now goes up to the stanchion. So we have all this empty space. We had a big issue this year with vendors piling on top of vendors, and there was no order. Now, for the last 10 years, we've been trying to get the de Blasio administration to create some sort of order, to no avail. So what we're left with was a fruit stand that we compare it similar to a food pantry. Food pantries don't have health department regulations. They're not required to have these silver tables. They don't have the same regulations as a brick and mortar. So that argument, as opposed to a brick and mortar, is mute. It doesn't provide free food. It provides affordable food because they get it from Hunts Point and they save it from going into the compost or the
30
trash.
seconds.
So what we wanted to do is obtain the plaza permit so we could have a fruit stand on one corner and a book shop on one corner. The Merchants Association would be liable. We would pay the fee for maintaining these two programs, and it would be in perpetuity. And if there's any questions regarding it, because my time is up right now.
Now we can ask questions.
So,
What is your
You got
app?
7 seconds.
So it's really not an ask because it's through the economic development. It's letting the leadership know that we did ask economic development for a letter of support to compile this information. What the cost is. We have a lot of people that are interested, especially the
That's
residents.
7 seconds.
Say that again.
No, I asked the question.
yeah,
And that's basically it, because we know what it takes to maintain. We know how much square footage is needed. We know we have to put plants. There would be a small kiosk on each corner with tables and seats so that it's away from the train entrance, about 15 feet, I think we have to be. And it's not infringing on the bus station as well, which it is at a bus station feet away from it.
If I may, so that means the Allerton Avenue Association is gonna pay for all this.
Yes.
And continue to pay, so there really is no fees that we have to worry about on the community board itself.
No, and unless you tell us that this is gonna be $500,000 a year, we're pretty confident that we'll.
Is this an enclosure?
Nope.
Outdoor.
We could probably do umbrellas at the stands. According to the city, we would have to make sure both are maintain 225 days out of the year or 260, something like that, minimum. Which I think our fruits vendor has been there 365 days unless extreme weather. So that would cancel that out.
Years or something. This is by, Bank of America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
Allerton and White Plains Road.
cool.
It was, if for anybody that knows, it was a disaster this year because we had a gentleman who wasn't homeless, just for the record. He was dumpster diving and then piling all the items on the northwest corner. So he was a great guy, very nice. I mean, in this instance, you know, he was put in a bad light because he was doing the wrong thing. But he did live in Co-op City. He did like the area, knew a couple of people in the area, and it just got out of hand. And we
Yeah.
were talking to the city. The city came, and then they annihilated the entire four corners. Any vendors in an area, they just took everybody out. Now we had the fruit vendor who, if this was his first year, second year, we would have said, yeah, he needs to do X, Y, and Z. But because the previous administration allowed him to stay for over a decade, and he built relationships, and he part of the fabric of our community. The neighborhood loves him. I get calls all the time. I know the community board hasn't been getting the calls, but we get calls all the time. Like I said, if this was 10, 12 years ago, he said, no, city's got to do what they got to do. But we're in a really different area right now where he has roots. He's done great by the community. If a family needed fruits and vegetables that day, here's the fruits and vegetables. And he's known by most of the leaders in the area. So
Servicing the community.
my compromise was, yeah, we have to have accountability. So if someone does get sick, and after the 15 years, nobody has, and or if they did, they knew where to find him because he was constant. But this program would then have that accountability and liability and insurance, et cetera. So that it would be like a farmer's market, per se. But it would also beautify the four corners. Also, I want to add, if I can, the security value that he provides when people come off, especially during the winter time where it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and they're coming off the train and they see that constant it's refreshing. And I won't say any more because I don't want to jinx it, but things have been good when he's there.
Thanks, Gene.
Uh,
Yeah, please.
So, thank you. So in terms of square footage, like if the four corners, how big is it actually? Like,
How big is
it's
the-
from Allerton to White Plains, like when you were talking about these four corners?
So it depends on where the city, and this is going to be part of the process. If the city wants to count the plaza 15 feet before the stairs, if you're familiar with it, or to the
Right.
corner, but we just have to be away from, we can operate both ways, both angles.
Okay.
So we would maintain up to, we are willing to maintain up to the corner where the halal truck is.
How are you gonna handle traffic? Is that gonna affect traffic?
Would not impede foot traffic, bike traffic, or street traffic because of the bump out. So if you're familiar with the train stanchions, and there used to be two paths, and then the sidewalk was here. What the city did about 15 years ago or so was bump out the sidewalks to the stanchion. So now this is all dead space. It would have path for those waiting for, they could actually sit in the tables and chairs that are there. It's away from the steps that are on the northwest and southeast corners. And it would not impede because now you have the foot traffic all here open where we would actually, my plan would be to border it with a tree planter or some type of bush. So it's separated, then we could even have other vendors, small vendors, their tables can come out so people can have a wider variety. And then the kiosk where at night everything can pile up into the
Would
kiosk.
the vendors have to pay any rent?
Yes, because they would help us provide the cost, but it wouldn't be profitable for us because I'm assuming that would maintain itself, whatever the city would get most of the funding for it.
I do have one final question, the bookshop. Who do you know who that's gonna be already?
So I'm also a leadership of the American Legion, and we have within our organization veteran vendors, which is another issue that the board should be aware of, how they're being boxed out of their SDV licenses. They can't operate in certain districts, but they're allowing anybody and everybody. So that's a whole separate issue we should talk about. But we have any veteran, I shouldn't say this out loud, but any person can sell literature for free in the city. They can set up a table, sell books, It's totally legal. I could set up the bookshop right now on that corner
Except
myself.
pornography, I hope.
I don't know, honestly, I don't know if that's a restriction. I would have issue with it, but I don't know if that's,
Anybody who's on the street for pornography.
I'm just, you know, I'm just
yeah.
trying to come by.
You would look.
Because I think you would have an
computer,
issue
I
on
would imagine.
what is and what isn't. I mean, if blatant, once
So-
the complaints come in.
So, yeah, you get most of the complaints and then he calls me. That's why I suggested he come to the committee last night. Did you guys vote on this last night?
No,
or-
we didn't have a quorum at the time, so we thought we'd bring it to leadership.
Okay,
So Ed has put quite a bit of information in the chat.
okay.
It's a lot to go over. One thing that he did say, is that he's had some thought to this plaza permit overnight, and he doesn't like the fact that one organization will have control over this plaza forever. Nope. I'm saying it right now. I have questions. So he has some information here. It's quite a bit to go over. The application deadlines, depend on the plaza level. So I mean, this is something that if we want to,
Well, because when I spoke to Chris, I believe there were other, maybe Mr. Perez or somebody was requesting more information or no? Last night.
I believe so. So,
Do we need that first or what?
well, I have to recuse myself because I'm part of Gallatin Merchants, so that would be based on the rest of the committee. I'm just reading what's on there, but I can't make any decision on that.
Yeah, I'm just asking because you were there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're disclosing, you can discuss, right?
Right.
Well, if there's another organization that wants to take the responsibility and the liability, we're happy to invite them to operate it. But what we want to prevent is the same exact chaos that occurred, because it did actually lead to the physical and dangerous fights where one vendor that was selling yams pulled out a knife and almost stabbed the young woman that was selling clothes too close to her table. So that happened several times. You could check the 4-9 precinct. So these are kind of the things that we want to stop from us, because it becomes territorial with these vendors. So when we can go in and say, look, we're liable for this corner, the precinct, but if any other operator, if Ed himself wants to come down and take liability and responsibility for keeping that corner, I'm open to it. If the board wants to maintain it, we're just trying to keep people safe. So they feel safe when they come off the street. It's organized, it's orderly, it's clean. And those are our priorities.
And by
It's
when do you need the
organized.
letter?
The sooner we have the letter, the sooner we can file it with the city, get them on board and go forward. Whatever we have to do to get them in compliance with city regulations.
Can we
And
put
then-
that on the agenda for the full board meeting for a vote?
But could we?
Yeah,
make
would
it-
you want to do you want to make a decision now or you just want to put it up for discussion?
I would like to make a motion to write a letter of support and then bring it up at the full board meeting.
Okay, so we have a motion and second.
Would this better be discussed in committee? I mean, if
It was
Ed has a lot of questions that could possibly be joined together with what's being organized
So
right
those questions will come out at the full board meeting if people have any questions to ask.
Well, ideally they won't.
Good. Ed had put his concerns in the chat, and it is extensive. Maybe after the meeting, we can send a copy of the chat to the full board, so they, or just Ed's concerns about this particular, to the full board, so everybody can see what it is he has
Yeah.
concerns about before the meeting. That way, everybody's aware, because not everybody's gonna be able to read everything in the chat today.
So it's open for discussion still. Call for a vote, Al, or?
Yeah, anyone else, any other discussion? You have a hand up there, I don't know if that's for
No,
discussion. Okay.
that's a member of the public.
Anyone opposed to the motion?
Or do you want to wait, or? I'll wait till the whole gallery gets there, that's up to you, I'm sorry.
Anyone abstain?
What?
And everyone's in favor? To put it on the agenda for.
Are you in favor of the motion that was made? He's taking votes.
To put it on the agenda for
Put
the
it on
full
the
board.
agenda.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then we.
Yeah.
One of the things Ed brought up was he doesn't want one group to be totally in charge.
But if the group is, it part of, it would be the Allerton Merchants, right? Which is part of the community. Why would that I don't see why that would be an issue, but let's, you know,
So we voted on this, oh, well, not.
Well, that was just one question,
That was the
right?
one that I
There's-
saw.
there's
Maybe
more.
you should,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of information in the chat that I think we benefit.
Well, I mean, we can, again, sorry, Al, I mean,
Go ahead.
before we vote on it, maybe we go through the whole gallery, maybe he will speak in the gallery and he can, if there's other questions, and then, does that make sense, or?
Yeah, it does make sense. But the galleries,
So
maybe not at first.
So do you want to withdraw it? and
I
wait?
withdraw it until,
I can.
Yeah. Let's hear from the gallery first.
So then, yeah, he could ask his questions then. I mean, assuming he wants to use his time that way.
does he want to do the questions now?
no, that's what he's told.
Or at the
Let's
full
hear from the
meeting,
gallery.
we can have another
Yeah,
5 hours?
let's, anybody else in the gallery? No? All right, so then we'll go online.
Yep.
sorry.
Oh,
Christine, are you
Roxanne,
ready to time, or?
Hold on one second.
We have 2 hands raised.
I think Roxanne's here.
I see Roxanne, I don't, like the other one.
Grace Lavelle.
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, now it's.
All right, so Roxanne, I think we had a hand first now.
We have Roxanne
Yeah,
first.
before you time me, I'd like to say
That's-
a few other people were locked out of the meeting for almost 20 minutes. So, and this happened beforehand in another committee board meeting. So I'll send it to BP's office, but that was very, that wasn't kosher to lock us out this way.
Well, you
You ready?
weren't out because during the same time frame,
I think
a
this
couple of
is,
people.
is this part of our time, because
Yeah,
we're wasting
yeah.
time here.
No, it's
Well-
not my time. I'm mentioning that I was
Right to
locked
do it.
out.
Okay, Roxanne, you weren't locked out, just for the record, because a couple people from here tried to go in through their phones and we were able to get in without a problem.
No,
So I'm not
Maria
sure what the
blocked
issue
us.
was,
Kay,
but you were not.
Kay,
were not locked out.
Charlene, and Agnes were all 3 locked out. They text me.
All right,
Time is gonna start.
Roxanne, your time is gonna
Oh,
start.
but also, wait, before you start, I also hope I have the courtesy that was given to the prior speaker for additional seconds, okay? Thank you. So please start my time.
You're on.
Okay, this is regarding 7-Eleven Leidick. As I mentioned at the last night's meeting, that there was many discrepancy, and unfortunately, on the way, the board didn't look at those documents that was submitted, but obviously on the non-binding agreement, partnership agreement, the one participant had 20% ownership, but on OCM, he was 100% ownership. And then I mentioned how one of the participants who's applying for this license to dispense cannabis has said he reside in the Kruger Avenue, 2125, the same address that the property owner of that premise also lived beforehand. So I find that to be very coincidence. And not to mention, in the last night's meeting, he said 7-Eleven supermarket was his, but in the prior meeting, he said 7-Eleven Leidick did not belong to him. He belonged to the current businesses that are running as mystery. But at last night's meeting, he said it was his corporation that he incorporated in July, which when I asked why did he incorporate in July when he did not seek by his agreement, he did not seek to buy this business till October. And I feel like there's a lot of discrepancy that's just being ignored. For some reason, I don't know what discussion is being done behind the community, what agreements being done, but this is not fair. I'm just asking you to do the right thing, to send OCM that you're not objecting to a location, but you're not certain if this current applicant has any affiliation with the current owners and business operators of Mystery on 7-Eleven Leidick, and to just give it a second look.
30 seconds.
What's wrong with asking for a second look? Because there is too many discrepancies. He's just saying it's accounting error. He's just saying saying one thing he says in one meeting, another thing he contradicts himself in the next meeting. I was like trying to be fair. I don't understand why it's going on with this board that doesn't want to play fair with this community or with me. You should not make personal grievances or trying to accommodate the participant committee. He's offering you something else. This is not fair. Just ask the OCM to give a second look. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for anything else. I don't think I'm being unreasonable here.
All right, thank you, Roxanne. Grace, you had your hand up?
Like, with some response, or will I just be ignored like usual?
I'll respond to you, Roxanne. First of all, there's no grievance against you with the economic development meeting. I personally have no issue with you. So I'm not sure why you're stating that we have a grievance with you. Second of all, they mentioned that they had been in talks with the person before October and about possibly getting that location. So that's why he had applied for it in July. That was what he had said. There's not much we can do. We asked him about why one person lived prior in the same location as somebody who lives there now. And he confirmed that he lived there a long time ago and he currently lives somewhere else. So they're not living in the same location at the same time from what we can tell. We make decisions on the information that we can actually understand and confirm. How can we confirm if there is any kind of connection to them if we have no records of it? And I do appreciate that you sent us the information and we all did look at that information. So your statement that we didn't look at it is unfair and untrue. We did look at all that information and we discussed it and we brought it all to the committee. So I do understand the passion that you have, but we have to be fair with everybody and we try and do the best that we can for the community. This is something that's coming our way. We can't just say no because we don't want it ever. We have to try and do the best that we can and make the best decisions that we can for our community based on this. It's coming in, and whether or not we like it, I mean, we sent a letter of objection, but they're still putting in the Williamsbridge one. Just because we send letters of objection doesn't mean that they're gonna heed by what we say, but we're gonna do the best we can.
Okay, first of all, when they submitted those paperwork, it showed the discrepancy in ownership between their non-binding agreement and OCM. None of you ever pointed that out. That was agreement sent to you beforehand and then was redacted and sent to me by one of your staff. So no one mentioned that until I brought it up after the fact. So I'm just saying that going forward, maybe when applicants submit paperwork, maybe the staff or the board members should review those paperwork. That's what I was talking about. And second, regardless if they abide by your recommendation or not, the point is why not make a recommendation for the OCM to take a second look, because there is questionable coincidence and discrepancy that raises red flags. Anyone that works in the corporate world knows what red flags mean. One or two is nothing, but when there's consistent discrepancy, even within the person's statement from one meeting to another, it does raise red flags and it requires a audit or due diligence. All I'm asking is for you to send OEM a letter of objection, not because of the location, but just to be certain that these applicants are not the same one currently operating an illegal dispensary. If OCM does the due diligence and they find that it's not, then it's a mute issue. But if they do find it is, then it's not a mute issue, and that would be an issue to protect the community. That's all I'm asking for. It has nothing to do with passion. It's just very frustrating that when I speak, everything everyone ignores what I'm saying, but when someone else speaks, everyone accommodates or panders to them. But when I ask for something, it's no, 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 no. But what I'm asking for is reasonable. It's very questionable, the discrepancy and inconsistency from meeting to meeting and even in the own documents submitted and what I found online with a basic Google search. OCM has access to the corporation papers to see the shareholders. That's something I will have to follow and I cannot get readily accessible before this meeting. I'm asking you to be fair to this community and just say, not saying no, 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 just say to OCM, we are not certain these applicants have been operating this illegal dispensary. We would like OCM to take a review. Isn't that possible, to be fair?
All right, Roxanne, thank you.
But can that be possible? I'm asking yes or no?
Is it possible for OCM?
No, for this board to send a letter to OCM that we're not objecting to the location, but we're not certain that these applicants are the same individuals that have been operating the illegal dispensary since July. And if OCM could just verify, if not, then we will have no problem with this applicant if it's not the same applicant, because he incorporated this in July, the same day that Mystery opened. How could he approach a business to buy a business that just was created at the same time?
Thank you, Roxanne. We'll have to move on.
But I'd like to ask you, will you do that? Because you allow the other person to speak long about the plaza, but when I'm asking for something, there's never enough time.
We can take that into consideration. We voted on it, so we can't.
But can you bring that up to the full board meeting, that there's there's concerns that I just brought up over and over again, and to possibly,
Roxanne, we're gonna leave that up to the committee.
But yeah, but the committee is not. Committee already met. The committee is not meeting this year. How can we leave it to a meet this year? Can you please advise?
No,
You just unmute, you just muted me now because I just want to make sure she heard
Yes.
that.
Oh,
I just,
Yeah, say it
Roxanne, you
again.
could please come to the full board meeting And in the gallery session, bring this up so we can have more board members there and we can have a discussion. We have the motion ready, so we have to move forward with the motion. But if you come to the gallery, maybe we'd be able to do something there. But right now, at the moment, that this is where we stand. So, but please come to the full board and bring your concerns in the gallery so everyone can hear it.
Thank you,
You will not be ignored. You weren't ignored last night either.
thank you.
Sorry, I got it. I know, but now they can unmute themselves.
No, don't move on.
So Grace, do you want to speak? You had your hand up.
You did ignore me last night. You didn't fulfill the request, just for the record.
If she keeps doing
Okay, so we need to move on.
You gotta mute her.
Is
All right,
someone
so
has their hand
is
up?
Grace still here?
Great.
I don't know.
The person
No,
with
If
the
Grace
green
is still here.
next door.
Okay, hold on.
I'm here. I'm here,
Alright.
just waiting patiently.
Are you
ready?
Go. Go. Okay. Well, before I start with what I was gonna speak about real quick, I just wanted to clarify about the plaza. A few years ago, let's say about 8 to 9 years ago, I went to a presentation by the city about the plazas. It's not that the organization has control of the plaza. The plaza they would be responsible for keeping the plaza clean and security and stuff like that. It's not that they have control over it. It's just they are going to be responsible for keeping it clean. If there are benches, if there's snow, the organization would have to make sure the benches are cleared of snow, the snow is shoveled on the floor, all that stuff. So it's not like they're going to have control of the plaza. It's just they'll be going to be responsible for keeping it clean and so on. The city's still going to have control. That's that. So basically what I wanted to say, I signed up online to speak. I'm very aggravated with the lack of leadership on the community board now. You know, what happened at the full board meeting was disgraceful. I was one of the persons that stayed till for the executive session to be over. And then when it was over, the attitude and nastiness of certain board members was just unacceptable. Unacceptable. And I have stuff on video that you all saw. I'm sure you saw it. And as far as Malcolm shooting the bird, yes, he did. So keep looking for those videos, Jeremy, but I'm an eyewitness. Other people were eyewitnesses. And that's a fact. But you guys want to gloss over it because it's Malcolm. I mean, I don't have anything personal against Malcolm. And here goes Diana, of course, the apologist for everybody.
Thank you, Grace.
All right, Grace.
But is
No,
my 3 minutes
Grace,
up?
Grace,
2 minutes? What is
Grace,
it?
Grace,
Thank you.
Grace. Oh, wait, yes, because this. All right, Grace, let's talk offline if you don't mind, because I would definitely like to respond, but we're gonna move on, if that's okay. All right?
Yeah,
Okay,
but,
just so it's in the record. Just one more thing. Did that cease and desist letter from the community board ever get done or no?
Yeah, so I was looking at the minutes again. I don't even recall what that was about. Does anybody
Well, it
recall
was
what that was
about, it's about,
I,
it's about the vendors being bulldozed by the city. It's now they do it every week now. Now it's a regular thing. Every Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday, I think it's Wednesday or Thursday, they come and they do. It's basically what the mob used to do. You know, they used to go and take from somebody and give it to their pals. So they're taking the vegetables, whatever, from the vendors here. Are good vendors. The other vendors that are not so good don't really care about that. But like Ness,
Grace, thank you.
they take his stuff and then they give it to a so-called pantry, and
All right.
it's
So-
not right. It's not
So
right.
let's Grace, let's talk about that as well.
Jeremy said he'll talk to you after the.
Okay.
after the-
Okay.
You have somebody else.
Ed had his hand up.
Yeah.
Ed? Did you want to speak, Ed? Ed Murphy, I believe is his last name.
Frozen? No.
No. Is that his name?
Think
Yeah,
so.
that's his.
Ed? you wanna?
Good evening,
say-
everybody. I'm piggybacking on Roxanne there. It's not that we don't want to see this business there. It's we want to see it done the right way. These guys, like I said at the last meeting, they have the bodega on the corner. They've had trouble there for many years, I would say over a decade. These same people are just the next day after I came from the meeting, they have the guys, they smoke the weed and drink the tall cans of beer. Now there was two of them instead of one. As soon as that door opens, the rush of weed comes out. So we don't want to see somebody get this license that doesn't deserve it because they're flaunting the laws right now. You understand? That's the whole issue going on with the 7-Eleven lighting. These guys are not nice guys. Okay? We just want, if somebody applies for a license, have their ducks in a row. And you know, these guys don't. They've been trouble to this area for years. Any of you guys on this board that live in the area will know that corner bodega has caused problems so much for
30
our
seconds.
area. Okay? And yes, I'm very passionate of my neighborhood. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Well,
Anyone else?
Diana.
Diana?
Yes, I was at that full board meeting and I think that the board needs to stand up for its procedures. There were a lot of observers there, people from the community who didn't understand what an executive session is, what the rules are for going into an executive session, what the rules are for coming out of one. And they were very vocal about it. And I realized it was the end of a long, very intense evening. But the idea that somebody takes a video and a blurry shot from one moment of it, if you look at the actual video, which is posted online, the gesture in question is very fast. It's like a wave of a hand, just like that. And the idea that people in the community are accusing members of your board of really reprehensible behavior is not right. There's an ethics procedure if people think that something has happened. We can't go around posting blurry videos online on social media and making all sorts of claims about them. That's very wrong. I mean, people were upset with what happened at the meeting, perhaps, but I
30
think as a
seconds left.
community, we need more decorum.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you.
Jeremy?
I just want to say that like that meeting, like towards the end, I definitely let, my anger get the best of me because there was a moment where, I was announcing the votes or results and I said Miss Ferrara, and then it feels like the crowd erupted like, huh, Bernadette. And I was like, yeah, Bernadette, whatever. Like they got upset with me. But I think Diana's right that they think they're more upset that they didn't understand what was going on. I don't know if anybody else got that. I know a lot of you weren't there in person. That's what happened. I don't know if anybody saw that at the very end where the crowd was like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's even on their video. It's because I watched it. It's clear enough for me. It's like, I don't know
I
what the problem
wasn't
was.
there in person.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, one more, John.
Yeah. Well, that's race again.
Is that Chris?
I don't think she put her hand up last time.
That's it? Anybody else?
But anyway.
Mr. Chairman, regarding the smoke shop, I have some information if you would like any of it. Just to appease Ed's questions. To clarify, they're buying out that business. Hasim came from California. I know Adam from Allerton for quite some time and his family. they are a different operation, buying out that operation. The Yemenis community is very tight. Everybody knows everybody. That you can make a connection and draw a line to them, but I can assure Ed on my reputation that they're buying out that business. It's not affiliated with the deli. Those 4 businesses are not the same. Those 4 owners going into business with the new business are not the same.
Thank you.
Sorry, since the person spoke, there's lots of discrepancy in the document and in what they said in different
I'm
meetings.
sorry.
That it's
Not denying the documents.
why is it that one person is allowed to speak, but the other person isn't? That's the issue.
Okay.
So,
We have, now you can make your motion.
Sandy.
what motion?
Letter of support.
Oh, we wanted to,
Bring on
I
to
want the letter of support for the Alton Avenue Home Association to get the,
Alton International.
Alton International Merchants, I'm sorry. To get
Well,
a plaza
wait.
permit.
Ed never spoke. Was he gonna speak? Wait, that's why we held off.
I didn't see Ed's hand.
Yeah.
Perez?
Ed, were you gonna speak?
Ed
Perez.
Perez.
Yeah.
Perez.
Yes, of course, that Ed Perez.
Number.
Or that Ed.
Ethically.
Hold on.
Yes, he said yes.
So yeah, that's why we waited. Can you unmute yourself? I gave you.
I don't see him up there.
Yeah, he said yes. He's right here. We're talking about Ed Perez, not the other Ed.
So
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now I do.
Okay.
I didn't see a hand.
You know, I thought this was gonna be voted in committee. I didn't think that this was gonna be voted in leadership. And, you know, for this vote to be rushed and for us not to consider even just thinking about this a little more. I mean, you know, you're talking about, you know, a respectable initiative, and I love it. It's such a great idea. You know, Mr. DeFrancis brought up many valid and important points as to why we need to make this happen, and we needed to make this happen yesterday. But we should go through a formal review process on looking at the implications that this has for not just the community, but for other small businesses, for other fruit vendors, for other small food retailers that would report to the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. And, you know, maybe we should entertain the idea of a formal request for bids, for proposals from, you know, different organizations that are also interested in taking the liability of it. Because if it's about a dollar amount, about taking on liability, about paying the $60,000 or so a year that it's going to cost to run this thing, I mean, I could go ahead and run through a number of bids that have that in their budget. I spent the last couple of days analyzing the budget of various bids in comparison to the White Plains Road bid, and you know what they've been doing. That's a different conversation. But you know, again, that's
Because that's
where I'm at.
We are not a business improvement district. We do not welcome a business improvement district. Allerton had a vote on a business improvement district. It was shut down. So please, the community board, do not mention business improvement district because that's a sensitive area that was shut down by the business owners about 5 years ago.
Gene, thank you for pointing that out. I did not
problem.
know that, so
I
I
know.
appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I'll make sure to respect that and not to mention, because if it's a sensitive topic, I don't want to make that mistake again.
Oh, I appreciate it. That's the only reason why I was cutting you off on it because I didn't want it to go any further.
Thank you so much, Gene. I appreciate that. But again, I'm not going to be long-winded on this. I just think that we shouldn't make a vote tonight on this. I thought it was going to be committee. And, you know, I do have questions that I want to write down and share with Gene because I want.
Muted.
Oh, sorry, Ed, we got your point loud and clear. You got your time.
But Ed, we can have, if I can give Jean your email address and you can have conversations with Jean, okay? So if you don't mind, I'll do that.
Who's back?
Is he muted or unmuted?
So can you,
Moving on.
Ed? He may not be able to unmute himself. Hold on.
You're gonna get to Ed?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, he
You
hears.
said yes, okay, yeah.
Okay, you see, all right,
I'll
thanks,
tell
guys.
them to Gene and they can go.
So maybe withdraw the motion for the moment.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
has to be discussed.
It'll be discussed, so I withdraw the motion.
Can I make a friendly amendment? All we were asking was an exploratory and getting information. How much does it cost? Do you need
Well,
permits?
so like Ms. Delgado, if you don't mind, sign in the gallery.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah, no, I got you. Is that okay with everyone, or?
Yeah. That's it.
That's what's being said.
Any other motions?
I can't say.
Old business?
Hold on.
I do.
So,
Oh.
so, hold on.
Oh.
Well, Tiz might want to say something. She wanted to make
Wait 1 second.
a
Is there anything
motion.
else?
No, let's just finish this part and then.
Lots of,
I make a motion that we put this up for further discussion and look into what what getting a permit entails
At the full board?
at the full board and in committee
Okay.
Or
for the plaza.
For the plaza.
Excuse me.
Yeah, talking about a letter of support or whatever, the idea. So she made a motion to discuss this at the full board. Second?
Second.
Okay, no more discussion, or we had enough discussion?
Anyone opposed?
Just for the record, again, I'm
You wanna
recusing
abstain?
myself from this voting.
She's recusing herself.
Motion carries.
Carrie, let's go.
Any other motion? You had a motion.
Well, I'm sorry, did anybody, Jen, I forgot I was supposed to do minutes.
Old business, Serena.
I'm not good at this.
So, good evening, everyone. Happy December, happy holidays to everyone. I just wanted to bring up the fact that back in November, the leadership committee did discuss that we were going to be having the annual Community Board 11 holiday gathering. And that was unfortunately canceled. And several committee members decided to still get together and celebrate as per usual. I don't know how many years this has been a tradition, an annual event for the community board. And so we just had our holiday gathering this past Sunday. It was a beautiful brunch where most of us, a lot of us came together, and those that didn't did respond to us, telling us why they couldn't make it. I wanted to give, we all collectively want to give Mr. Roger McCrossan a big thank you for donating $400 to the community board annual holiday party. That really was just that came in really handy. And so what I would like to say, or kind of I guess put forth, is to have the board consider paying for the party that we were initially going to have and we agreed upon in November. With Mr. McCrossan's donation and all of us and the guests that did attend were individually paid for by themselves. We have about $540 that we'd like to have the Friends of CB11 pay for. So I guess this is more of a motion. Yes,
If I can move, to not consider, but actually, I would like to make a motion
You
that.
can't make it, you're part of the gallery. You can
But
suggest it.
he suggested it, but I mean,
He's suggesting that I reword my motion, and so
To make it that it is repaid.
So I'd like to make a motion that the Friends of CB11 pay for and repay for the expense of the annual Christmas party in the sum of $540.
So you want to be reimbursed?
We
For the
all would like
individual.
to be reimbursed.
So
Well, I don't
has
want
it
to
already
speak for
been
all.
paid?
It has not been paid.
So it wouldn't be a reimbursement, it would be paid.
It would be
directly to
paid
the location.
directly to the establishment, which I have to give a big thank you to Adeos. They were fantastic and phenomenal. I think I know we all had a great time. And so if that doesn't happen, then of course we will all
Chip in.
yeah, we will
That's
all
fine.
pay. But I like
We already
the
have.
Friends of.
Friends of. So yeah. So that's where I'm at with that.
Do
And
we have a second?
I'll second.
thank you.
Any,
Discussions.
any abstention?
Oh,
Anyone opposed? Go ahead.
any discussion?
I oppose.
Anyone else opposed?
Oh, yeah, that's you. Mhm.
Hazel. So it's two opposed.
Two opposed? Any abstentions?
This wasn't a real
Yeah,
community board party. This was
it was,
just us getting
it was a
together,
decision that was made.
which unfortunately I couldn't go because I was in Connecticut, but it wasn't an official,
I think every year we have a tradition where we have this Christmas party. And because we didn't have it, or we, some people did come together and have it, I think the tradition should be carried out.
It wasn't a real.
No. Janice is on the committee.
Sorry?
It wasn't
No, no. Miguel, please.
Well, I wasn't there, so I have no idea.
Janice is speaking.
Perhaps.
On.
Perhaps.
Okay, don't let me say it. Okay, we've been having this Christmas party for at least 8 years now. And I don't think we should change the fact that the decision that was made by someone not to have it should we should still, or the establishment should still be paid. No. No way.
I don't agree.
That's on you.
I know, but I'm the
One
chair.
person. That's fine, but this is something that.
Hello?
Yeah. No,
You can't sleep.
this is a tradition that this board has had for almost 10 years. Okay, for almost 10 years. And I don't think, just one person should, change that tradition.
I also think we ought to make a motion that we do have a holiday party every year. Paid for by transit.
I second that.
As long as they have.
Yeah,
we don't have.
Until it's well ratified.
Because I think it's something that we should put into, it should be every year, people come together.
I'd like to just, I want to respond.
Hello, one
Yeah.
at a time. One person speaking, one at a time.
So you done, Janice?
I'm done.
All right, Hazel has her hand.
So I wanted to go to the party but I went to Connecticut because it was my birthday, so. But I think, it was like last minute, so I don't think a lot of people were available that day. So maybe we should just have another party where everybody can come. Maybe like after Christmas or before New Year's, just so we could all get together.
It doesn't
If
have to be a big, I'm sorry.
Yeah, cause I really, I really want to go.
Galleys.
Talk.
Yeah, please, thank you. I don't interrupt anybody. Well, not always. Because I really wanted to join and, but I wanted to celebrate my birthday too.
Of course, and I said happy birthday and yeah, I hope you have. a
Appreciate
great
that.
birthday. I just want to answer a couple of things, if I may. So, there was, I think Hazel, you said, this wasn't a real CB party, right? You also made mention of the fact that, there wasn't enough time, right? I believe we received an email, if I remember correctly, and I can go back and fact check. I believe it was November 30th, talking, detailing this party that we agreed upon at this table back in November, right, Bernadette? When we
Yes,
all
correct.
agreed
Yes,
upon,
Serena.
right? And, I even
And I
offered,
basically did all the homework,
Yeah.
et cetera, and I basically was the one who got the price.
okay, so you tell me when you're done so I can finish whatever saying.
I'm done.
Okay. I don't understand what's happening here, but, I offered, I'm just recapping this for everyone that probably was here in November, so I offered to help, and so then you responded to me, you said you had the venue, and so that's what it was. When I RSVP'd the following day, I think it was December 1st, if I remember correctly, a couple of hours later, I don't even know when, I received an email saying the party was canceled. I was confused. A lot of our fellow community board members were confused. And so we didn't know why. When we agreed here at this table that was going to happen, there was no answer as to why. at all to any of us. We were just left in the dark. And so in the spirit of the holidays, we just decided, you know what? And to just answer Hazel real quick, you said there was no time, but I didn't change the date that Bernadette, presented.
Yeah, but it was canceled and then.
Hours
it was
later.
Off and then it was on again.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
hours,
oh.
but hours later, so you were
Yeah.
privy to this
I understand what
information,
you're
and
saying.
hours later, I immediately jumped on it, and we knew, and we all know that we will make good with Adele's. We did get apparent, I don't want to make this that. But I know because I was there, we had a great time together. And that's all that this should be about. It's not about rights and wrongs at this moment because we can go there. I'm just asking Friends of CB11 to pay Adele's the $540 that is remaining for the holiday and the holiday party we had. And the other thing about, it not being a CB11 party, I mean, there were 20 CB11 members, maybe less than half the board, so I don't know what you would call that.
And the establishment.
May I say something?
Go ahead. I'm not on it.
I would have loved to have a CB11 party and I would have liked to continue to have it. But I have to be, very honest. I feel that after the full board meeting and with more than half of the board, I'm the one that basically made that happen and made the decision that the board members shouldn't have to pay. Because beforehand, another board member had brought it up and it was said, well, we don't have enough money to do that. And I was the one that made that decision. Because I felt that the board members were all the time that we volunteer, that we should have a board, we should have a party and we shouldn't have had to pay. And most of our times, we haven't paid except for your +1.
Again,
But
most of our.
after, excuse me, can I finish? But after the full board meeting and after the executive session and after everybody deciding that, the decisions, I felt that why should we reward such negative behavior? No, I'm finishing. I'm finishing right now. Okay, so you can keep your hand up, Christine, but I'm finishing.
I'm gonna keep.
So
it.
I'm letting you know
be
what the
respectful,
confusion, I'm
people.
trying to clear the
Please,
confusion.
let her finish.
So the confusion is why it was canceled. Since it was coming from the chair for everybody and more than half of our board is against the chair and against the vice chair, then why should we have a party? And so your decision to take it upon yourself, Serena, to reinitiate the party was your responsibility. And it was everybody else's choices. It wasn't the community board's choice. It was your choice. So why should we have to pay for something that you made a decision on?
Because it was the
Do,
majority
so-
of the community.
So the beauty of having a community board is that we are not just one, we're a collective group of people who can determine what happens within their community and how we move forward, right? That's what the beauty of this is about. So when you say you were the one to put this together, were you also the one to tell Adele's not to rent the venue out to certain individuals of the community board?
Not really. I had, I spoke to him and I said, it might happen. So.
Janice?
You
Janice?
finished?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
finished,
done,
Bernadette?
I'm done.
No, are you finished, Bernadette?
Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah.
The board has always paid for the members for this holiday party since we started having it outside of the community board meeting. It has always paid, so why should,
Yes.
unless you brought a guest? +1. So I'm not finished.
No, I just want to,
No,
I
no, no,
want to
no, no,
add to that.
no.
Let's understand.
You're gonna let me finish.
Mhm.
The board has always paid for the members for the holiday party. So all of a sudden, because you didn't like what was going on, you cancel? No, that's not correct. Go ahead. Go ahead. We could go.
Before, I got a report back from another board member that was asked about our holiday party. And basically it was said, we don't have the money. And I said, I was the one that said, no, we'll get the money, we'll get it from our friends of, and I'll try to get it at the lowest price possible so that it's not $80 or $70, where for some people that would really be a lot. Even for the for the +1, that would be a lot. And I was able to get it at a reasonable price and asking a lot other things to be added in because it was a community board. And that's where I said, we need to do this because we volunteer all the time. We should have a party where we're, like we have had for the last 20 years. So I was the one who took that initiative. When other was, said, no, we don't have the money. And I was like, no, we'll get the money. We'll take it from the friends of, if I can get it for the lowest price, a reasonable price.
But we've always had the money, Bernadette. Why all of a sudden you're saying we don't have the money?
I just explained.
Explain what? That we don't have the money? We've always had the money for this.
We don't have a lot of money as what we have in the friends of. The treasurer's report has it. We don't have the fundraising. We haven't had it because of COVID.
That was one of the concerns we originally brought it up, was that we haven't been having the fundraiser to replenish the Friends of account. So I did bring that up originally when we first mentioned about having the holiday party, because we need to start also brainstorming about ways to replenish that account. Okay, because
If we didn't have the money for it, how come
We're gonna have to ask you to leave. We're gonna have to leave.
Yeah,
let her finish.
We don't want you to leave, but if you continue, we may have.
We used to have a carnival every year and to raise money for Friends Up. I don't know how much we still have in it, but we still have money in Friends Up. And that money was used for, the holiday party and for anything extra that the board wanted to do. We still have money in there. Once that money runs out, then we have to foot the bill ourselves. But right now, from what I understand, the money's still there.
We still have money in the account. The only concern that I had was just to bring notice that there's no replenishment.
Right.
So that's something that we need to discuss and how we can
Yeah.
start replenishing the account, since we no longer have that extra
Because
income
I
coming
think
in from the
that brought in,
carnival.
what, about $10,000 a year, $12,000 a year?
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's something more than what, I mean,
But the $400 that was donated, I think the balance should be paid by Friends of Community League.
that was her motion. That's what we're discussing. Yeah, no, that's why we're in discussion, but Malcolm is in the meeting. He has his hand up.
Christine
also
has
have my
hand up.
Not a member of the committee, though. No offense. Don't kill me later.
Sorry.
I mean, it's up to the committee. It's up to the committee.
It's Al, it's your call.
I don't want to turn it into a crazy thing. We pretty much said what we had to say. I think Selena said what she had to say, and Bernadette said what she had to say. I think that's enough. You have somebody else on the.
Well, Malcolm's on the committee. He has his hand up. And I know he wasn't here earlier, but.
All right, Malcolm. You're on.
You have to unmute yourself, Malcolm.
I might have to. I think I muted it. Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Oh yeah, I pretty much agree with everybody that's been said. I definitely think, I mean, we have a year, right? We could definitely find ways to fundraise within the year, to make that money back and, to do it right the first time. We shouldn't be in the process of deeming what is rewardable and what's not. But aside from this, I do want to point out that, I'm not sure if you guys discussed it. Maybe I'm wrong, but the City of Yes vote needs to happen by January 4th. And we also received a gaming text amendment that we also have to look at within 60 days. So I understand this is an issue, but we do have to look at those issues too. So if you could call the question on this one and, just move on, that we appreciate it.
Malcolm, didn't we get an extension?
Yeah.
No.
Till February. February first, the beginning of February, that's what June said.
That's what Tune said? All right, so that could, because from what I heard from other people, it said they said fourth, but
Wait,
if that's-
It's breaking up.
No, it's.
I'm sorry. You guys,
It's done. It's not ten.
Heard from his mouth.
Hold on 1 second,
Spoken
Malcolm.
more than once.
I think we should just let Malcolm finish saying what he thinks.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Malcolm.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I heard it was January 4th, but I could go back and just clarify. I just, just really want to make sure that we at least have a conversation in regards to it. I mean, I was able to listen to part of what was said at that public hearing, and a lot of it I do agree with. So I just want us to have a very valid conversation as to how we move forward with that and how we make sure that the needs of our community is represented in some way. But that's about it. And the gaming text amendment, we also have to look at that too, because that's also the time is ticking on that also.
No. Gaming text.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
You have a motion on the table?
Oh, I mean, I think we have to vote for Serena's motion first.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
Well, no, this was a
Motion
discussion
again,
part of it.
Karina, we already discussed it. We seconded.
Hazel and Burnett are against.
Right. Should I restate it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the motion is to have the Friends of CB11 account pay the remaining $540 to Adeos for the annual Christmas party.
Seconded by Tiz.
It was seconded by Tiz, and there was 2 abstentions. Oh,
Two
two
again.
Two against.
2 against, any abstentions?
Any abstentions?
Motion carried.
Awesome.
Would you have one? You had a motion about. the-
Oh, yeah. Thank you. And I'd like to make a motion that every year we have a holiday party for the board.
I want a second.
We pick a date early in the year to make sure that most people can show up. Obviously, you're not gonna get everybody. And then, and we set that date, and that date's set in stone.
I second.
I second that. Well, okay.
I beat you to it.
Yeah.
Anybody opposed?
And it is covered by.
The Friends of.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
While
covered
until
by-
the money runs out.
Or by the
We gotta
funds up.
start
As long as we have the money.
rebuilding.
We could always pay out forever in pockets like we were just going
Oh,
to.
yeah, but we'll have the party every year. Friends of will pay until we run out of money. That's my motion. And it's seconded by Tiz. Anybody opposed?
Question now, do they still have the carnival? Does the
What
carnival?
we'll have to do.
I
that's
think
it.
we'll discuss that in education and culture.
Anyone opposed?
Oh, we
Any
can.
abstentions?
We could do that. We can have.
All right, the motion carries.
Do it
So
together.
we'll do it
Also,
now.
just for discussion and I guess new business, if you finish with old business, with new business, we really have to find a way to raise some money for this board, aside from what the board brings in.
Al, we just discussed it, economic development and education and culture. We're going to try to take over the carnival.
We're
Yeah,
gonna see what we can do.
in fact, I have the woman's name that used to run it for us, and she's willing to do it again. We just gotta get the permission from Parks Department to use Bronx Park East. They do everything. All we have to do is make sure that it doesn't rain that day and the kids come out, but they hold it for a week. And we make I think about 12,000.
Well, a week to 2 weeks. But then the problem is,
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
So, from what I know, I think it'll be Parks very anti having that carnival in the park right now. But I think it would be a great idea for Morris Park for there to be a street carnival. I think that shutting down the street and bringing in different concession stands and things allows for diversity of culture to happen and allows for mixing of people within that corridor. And also, it also brings economic vitality to that area too. And plus, we also have support with the bid, which also opens up different avenues that we can explore. I think the carnival may be, one of the more viable options that we have to fundraise. And
The only thing, Malcolm, if you close the streets, that's a one-shot deal. We're not gonna let you close it for a long period of time.
Yeah.
With the carnival, it goes on for a week and we don't have to really get involved.
do we have to do it? I mean, can make
so the issue is which you more or less talked about, Malcolm, the issue is they don't last on the grass.
Mhm.
Historically, that's the issue. I know there's more to it than that, which we should talk about, but, yeah, it's
We
gonna
could
be.
start it small, since it's the first time we're taking it over.
Right.
We do.
We've-
break the playground.
Yeah, but like going by what Malcolm said, Haight Avenue, if we close down Haight Avenue, you're really not affecting that many people because the school is now closed down. The school is most of the block. And we do also have access to the park, the new area of the park. So we can tie into that. We might not have it for a week. We might just do it, you know, for a
weekend.
Sunday or a Saturday,
Let's do.
but it's somewhere to
Let's
start.
let's find out about the carnival, see if we can have the carnival, because that's a no-brainer, no work on our part.
Yeah, we'll reach out to Parks.
If
and
that
see if
doesn't
they
come
wanna
in,
do
if
it.
that doesn't come to fruition, then we'll figure
Yeah.
out one or two other ways to run, run different, things that we can raise some money on, you know. But I think the community board has to get together. Yeah, again, I'm ticked at a lot of people here, and I'm sure they're ticked at me, but that's not the point. It's holiday party, let's get together and have a good time.
I will say that I will vote in the dunk tank.
Oh,
We'll happily put you in.
There.
So.
We'll happily put you in.
I'll be done. Yeah.
All right.
That'll be our big.
We gotta plus-
I never. Right.
I don't know
We're done.
if.
Well, wait, you made a motion to have it every year. Can we vote on that?
Yeah, we did.
We can just.
Ed, is that question for VO to come out at the carnival or just in general?
What is it? Oh, yeah, BO.
Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, VO,
We can definitely add that as an option. So did we finish with this motion?
Yeah,
He already has them.
Al, any
Yeah.
other old business?
Anything else? Old business?
New
We
business?
did that. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Happy holidays,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
The meeting ended at 8:50 PM.
See you all next Tuesday, hopefully. Oh.
Oh, well, you're gonna send down.
Ed, 32, that's not your norm, that's very little. Have a good night, Ed.
Tracy, leave. Grace.
Just like to combine, just wait.